Hello folks, let us see what are the concepts we are driving under Spring Microservices. In the Spring Microservices, Spring Config Server. This is mainly used for interacting with Git repository to read properties files based on the application and also based on the environment. It can be development environment, staging environment, production environment. By using Spring Config Server, mainly interacting with Git repository to read configuration information application wise and also for a particular application environment like a profile wise, whether profile is a development or staging or production or any other. Mainly by using this, we can interact with the Git repo. Mainly to maintain cloud environment. Cloud environment, we require a config server. Then move to the second one, config client. If any microservice required to read the properties from the Git repo, then that microservice should be a client to config server. Through config server, it can go to the Git repo to read the properties file content. If any microservice wanted to read the data from the Git repo, then that microservice should become a config client. That config client interacting to config server. Through config server, it can read the properties files whichever configured in the Git repo. The next one, REST template. From one microservice giving a call to another microservice. By using ordinary process REST template. Through REST template, we can make a call from one microservice to another microservice, but it is almost like a hard coded way. It is almost like a hard coded way. Instead of using REST template, better to use Feign client. Through Feign client, we can interact from one microservice to another microservice by using proxy of the target microservice. It will not be hard coded way. Compared to REST template, Feign client giving lot of advantages while making a call from one microservice to another microservice. It is using proxy. Through proxy, we can make a call to the target microservice very easily. Nowadays, nobody is using REST template, but you should know the process of that also. Feign client only, more advisable while making a call from one microservice to another microservice. The next one, Ribbon. It is mainly used for load balancing purpose. Mainly load balancing. If at all, for a particular microservice, if multiple instances are there, those multiple instances using through Ribbon for the load balancing. Ribbon is a mainly for load balancing purpose. For a particular microservice, if more requests are coming, then more instances we can create. We can allocate those instances to the more requests. Ribbon along with the Fein client. It is really good combination. Fein client is giving a call from one microservice to another microservice. Ribbon is for load balancing of another microservice. If at all target microservice required for more clients, then more objects, those objects can be managed through a ribbon. But while using ribbon alone, again there will be hard to coded way. Dynamically at any time, increasing the instances, decreasing the instances, not possible without restarting. While using just ribbon, increasing the instances or decreasing the instances for load balancing purpose, it cannot be happen without restarting. Instead of using just ribbon, use the ribbon along with naming server, Eureka naming server. Then dynamically whenever you wanted, you can increase the instances, decrease the instances without restarting. The target microservice instances we can register with the naming server. Clients can connect to the naming server to get any one of the target microservice instance. All target microservice instances registering with the Eureka server. Dynamically at any time you can increase or decrease. So nowadays Fein client, Ribbon, Eureka naming server, these three almost using together. Fein client, Ribbon, Eureka naming server. Fein client to give a call from one microservice to another microservice. Ribbon for load balancing purpose. Eureka naming server. Automatically, whenever we wanted, we can increase the number of instances or decreasing the number of instances without restarting any kind of application. Then Joule API Gateway. It is mainly for achieving something pre, post and error to the microservice. Pre-execution to the microservice, post-execution to the microservice, error to the microservice. For a particular microservice, before entering something or after leaving something or whenever error is received something, some kind of filtering or some kind of pre-execution, post-execution or error. Joule API Gateway. It is mainly for intercepting your request before going to microservice or while leaving from the microservice or while getting a error. The next one, Spring Cloud Sleuth. By using Spring Cloud Sleuth, we can trace a request while it is traveling across the microservices. While request is traveling in across the microservices, how we can trace a request? We can trace the request by using logger. In the console messages of different microservices, we can identify how request is going. Tracing a request. For every request, it is assigning one unique ID. Through that unique ID, we can trace a request in the distributed environment where multiple microservices are executing. Multiple microservices are executing. If you are looking for distributed environment, if you want to trace a particular request. For that request, one ID is generating, that ID displaying in the logger, through logger, by using Spring Cloud Sleuth. It is only for tracing a request in the distributed environment. But this tracing a request should be in the log files. Definitely it is difficult to trace a request through log files or through console messages. To address that, we have a RabbitMQ and Jitkin server. While using these two, RabbitMQ, it is keeping all the messages in the queue. Jitkin server, it is listening to the queue, tracing a request in the distributed environment can be possible in a single window itself rather than going through different log files or different console messages. RabbitMQ, it is developing a queue with all the messages. Jitkin server listening to messages in the queue. By using these two, we can trace a request in a single window rather than going to the different log files. No need of going to different log files. In the same window, we can able to trace a request. The next one, Spring Cloud Bus. It is mainly for refreshing Git repository changes to the instances of microservices. Let us consider already some instances are defined to a particular microservice, but there are some changes in the Git repo. All the changes should be affected to the instances which are already running. Already some instances created. After creating some instances, there is a change in the Git repo. How to reflect those changes to the instances which were already created? Then we will be using Spring Cloud Bus. We can refresh all the instances with changes in the Git repo. The last one, Hystrix. It is mainly used for fault tolerance. In order to achieve fault tolerance, go for Hystrix. If any microservice raising unhandled exception object, instead of terminating or instead of stopping that service, it can provide a default service. Through Hystrix, we can achieve fault tolerance. Whenever any service is receiving unhandled exception object, while using Hystrix, it won't terminate. It will provide a alternative normal or general processing. General or default processing whenever exception is rising. All these 12 you will come to know right from the beginning. Please observe. The total session is a practical session. Each and every step, each and every configuration, each and every activity I will be developing in front of you. Parallelly, you should develop. To develop parallel to me, I will be giving a sufficient time. All these 12 concepts we can easily finish off in 10 hours. Each and every concept practically. I will be developing 2 microservices. We can see all these 12 activities with those 2 microservices. To support those 2 microservices, we required a config server, we required a naming server, we required even API gateway. So altogether, 5 applications we will be developing. With that 5 applications, we can easily understand entire microservices, all these 12 concepts. Once you know microservices, then almost job searching will become a simple. Most of the companies giving a more preference to microservices. You will be getting a soft copy material, and even you will be getting recorded videos. You can replay any number of times for 1 year. 1 year validity will be, in this 1 year you can able to replay any number of times. So the material also, it explains clearly why do we require these 12 concepts under microservices. You can easily understand in that material. Even syntaxes also will be available. You can easily follow whatever we are developing, these 12 technologies under Spring Microservices. So if you are interested, you can enroll for the same. I'm just sending bank details along with this. So interested people can pay the fees, make the registration, and I'll be supplying one Google form as well. Once fees is paid, then fill that form. The paid transaction summary you should upload to the form. Then you will be getting a separate link and also a password to attend the session. To attend this session, what are the prerequisites required? If you know core Java and Eclipse usage and also very basics of Spring, that is sufficient. Basics of Spring, entire core Java and Eclipse usage. If you know Maven, that is also added advantage. Even though you don't know Maven, you can able to understand. We are creating 5 to 6 applications. You can easily understand that is not a difficult. Then anybody can able to understand. No need of bothering about I don't have any experience whether I can able to understand or not. Even fresher also can able to understand very easily. I will be using Windows system. All Windows configurations I will be showing. And this class will be happening through GoToMeeting. So you don't require to install anything before, but still I'll be sending the link maybe half a day before itself. Then you can install the GoToMeeting client. Even you can install after receiving before starting a class also. It is very simple. It won't take more than 2 minutes. So that's all for describing about Spring Microservices 1 day session. Interested, you can take a decision. Enjoy karo, all the very best.